Hello everyone. Right, I was just perusing YouTube last night, being Saturday night, and I noticed that Mr Repzion did a follow-up to his video last year on Joy. So I thought, right, okay, I'll watch it. Some of the stuff is essentially repeated from the last video, however, some of the stuff isn't. And some of the stuff was completely new to me. There is one thing that I do want to check his source on, which I will get to at some point. And there are a few things that I sort of have a very strong opinion on. For those that don't know me, some of Joy's fans already do because they've seen my videos on Joy in the past. I'm not a big fan of Joy. But I will admit that a lot of what she does doesn't make sense. And while having a chronic disease, which I do, can affect a large part of your life, there are a lot of things where, to me, some of it doesn't make sense, but some of it does. I'll get to that eventually anyway, because that's one of the last points. Because I'm going to go through Rep's points pretty much in the same order he did. I have them here. There's just one I need to sort of rejig because I actually wrote it down because I've remembered it from the last time. Right. Okay. Obsessive. He mentioned the same thing he mentioned in the first video, which is her obsession and how she clutches onto a topic and sort of just won't let go. She did that with Onision, she did that with Daddy of Five, and now she's done that with Peter Mon. For those that aren't aware, a couple of months ago, because I've even done a video on this, a couple of tweets that Peter Mon did and said like 3, 4, 5 years ago came out. And he actually went through each tweet. He first did an apology saying, I shouldn't have said them, blah, blah, blah. And then Paige turned around and said, well, really, you need to go through each tweet and explain the thinking behind them and why it was wrong so that people can learn from your mistakes. Because Peter's all about every moment being teachable. Now, he didn't do that in the first video, but in the second video he did. He went through every single tweet and he said why it was bad. And he said what he was thinking and the way he was thinking about things. Some of these was before he started YouTube. So, but Joy has sort of clutched onto it because she won't accept his apology. Which then comes on to Reps and my second point, which is the racism card. She's saying that he shouldn't be forgiven because his apology isn't enough. He went through every single tweet, explained why it was a bad idea, but he explained why he said it, and then he explained why it was a bad idea. He apologised wholeheartedly, with conviction, and explained that he is not the same person he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm not even the same person I was 3, 4, 5 years ago. She won't take that. She says it's not enough. Her and Petty Page have had a debate, shall we say, where Page has said, right, he said that he doesn't agree with, that he's apologised. The apology isn't just adequate, it is everything that you need in an apology. But she has said that she won't accept his apology. His was genuine and succinct and explained everything. But Joy, when she's been called out for racism in the past, when she's said certain words like nignog, which is a derivation of gollywog, which was an old representation of black people from like going back a while. And she says, well, it could be seen as racism. No, there's a reason why in this country gollywogs are, and the word, well, should I say, the word gollywog is banned. Because it is not a nice word, and nignog is a derivation of gollywog. it's basically like saying that some people would consider the N-word racist, but would consider, because it goes back like 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago, but it's not considered a racist word. It is a racist word. But he's explained where he was thinking. But he won't give him a pass, and she won't give him the respect that she demands people give her because of the whole brown baby thing. And I'm going to say on this one, I am actually of Spanish descent, especially on my mum's side. And I will say I don't find it what Joy said offensive, but that's just me. I don't come from a country where having blood of what's called a brown race is as bad of a thing. A different spectrum of the brown race, we do have a racism issue in this country, but generally not with people of Spanish descent or of Mexican descent, because it's England, we're a stone's throw away from Spain, it's going to happen. Whereas in America, the two races that have a lot of issues race-wise are black and Hispanic. African Americans and Hispanic. Now, so her saying what she said about brown people in a country where that element of brown people are, or should I say brown people, are not given the same respect as other races is an issue. It wouldn't be here because we're in the UK. But I think she's also characterising brown people as not just Hispanic, not just Italian, not just Portuguese, not just Middle Eastern, but even, I think she's even including African people in that, because she's essentially saying that brown babies became a par because people were... I'm not even going to go there because it's sickening to think about. But I didn't find it offensive, but then again, I don't live in a country where that would be something that would trigger my senses, because in this country I don't feel that. Because, well, first of all, I'm probably more white than Spanish, but I do have some Spanish blood in me, and it just doesn't bother me. The more time I'm in the sun, the darker I am. But as most people know, in this country we don't get that much sun. So, right. So she's not going to give Petermon even an inch, even a millimetre. But she expects people to do that for her, even though she doesn't apologise for what she said, and she stands by what she says, because it was a joke. You could say that about the tweets that Laura Lee put out. You could say that about the tweets that Manny put out. You can say that about anything that's happened in the beauty community, anything that's happened racism related. That it was a joke, and so that gives you a free pass. No, it doesn't. He pointed out she's juvenile, she always has been. She's basically she calls everybody else out for shit, and then when people say, well, you've done this shit, she's like, you're harassing me. Fuck off. Petty because people, she's also been petty because people have liked tweets about her. You know, like, you know, people calling her out for being overweight, for people calling her out for this, people calling her out for that. If I go butthurt about every single hate comment I got and every single nasty tweet I got, and I don't get butthurt about things like that. I just don't. If you're going to be on YouTube, you need a thicker skin than that. She calls out people for harassment and death threats, which is another point we'll talk on about in a bit. That do death threats on her and harassment on her. But when people do it on her behalf to other people, then it's, I have no control over it, and she laughs at it. But if somebody threatens, but if say one of my subscribers, which my subscribers would never do this, one of my subscribers turned around to Joy and said, you should die, you are a... She would expect me to put that person into line. But yeah, if you hold her up to that same standard, it doesn't make any sense. And to actually buy this up, there was, I think it happened earlier this year, there was, Monday Matt or his wife had received a death threat from one of Joy's fans because he didn't agree with something she said. So they thought it was sufficient enough for him to this fan then find not Monday Matt, Jeff Halliday and his wife and harass them for it on Joy's behalf. But yeah, if one of Jeff's guys had done that to her, actually found her and said to her, "You need to die," she kicks off at Jeff saying you should There's also something that Rep mentions that pisses me off. There was a live stream where a young girl, she was 11 years old, and she was a member of the LGBT community. She was a lesbian, but she was also questioning her gender identity. Now, when she was talking to Joy, she was explaining that she lives in a very small town which have very narrow views on sexuality and on gender, and that she had been bullied through elementary school to the point where she was homeschooled, I think, and then she had to go to a normal middle school, and she wasn't looking forward to it because everybody in the area is homophobic and she knows that she's going to get bullied again. And Joy's response is to laugh and then say that you should rape your bully. What? That makes zero sense to anybody. At all. So there you go. You don't do that. Now, the reason why I get a bit annoyed at that is, for those that don't know, I am part of the LGBT community. I am the B, which is why I'm married to a man. And for somebody to say that to somebody else, even if it wasn't part of the LGBT community, if it was just people don't like my dating choices, so they harass me for it, then even in that instance, them saying, "Oh, you should rape your bullies," you don't do that. There is a way of managing these things, and this girl's parents should really do more to help them, as should the school, but in this instance they're not doing. But there's nothing, you know, her response was, "Oh, you're 11, and what were it? You should rape..." Fuck off. A lot of this is, I haven't really been watching her content because she really does my editing. So I didn't know any of this had happened because I don't knowingly go and follow her shit because she pisses me off. Another one, another instance, she told an autistic girl to kill herself. Okay then. She's constantly saying she's going to leave YouTube, that she's only doing YouTube for the money. And a lot of her videos have literally ads every 5 minutes now. I can't monetize my content anyway. And even when I get to the point where I can monetize my content, I seriously doubt I'll be able to monetize my content because of the topics I cover. I'm not talking about these type of videos, the drama or social commentary videos. They can sort of get hit, but not as often as like the political videos and stuff like that. It's the child protection videos that I do and the murder videos that I do. I doubt I'm ever going to get monetized again. But that's just the way things are. I do this as a hobby anyway. It's not done for something serious. I like to educate people. I like to share my education with people, and I don't do it for the money. She says that Rep's video was a hit piece, but the majority of what Rep put in his first video was actually backed up by tweets, by snippets of live streams, by... Oh. And it's like, no, it's a hit piece. It's like, yeah, but you're saying it's a hit piece when everything he said is near enough everything he said he backed up. He's like saying, you're saying this, but in the past you've said this. You're saying this, but then you're also saying this. That's what he was saying, and he was showing proof he was showing proof. She kicked off about the fact that when they went to PAX East or whatever it was, a lot of them took a picture together, and there was a picture where Rhett was sat with Monday Matt, and she was kicking off about Monday Matt because he does false flagging and false copyright strikes. But Joy also does that to people, even if she knows it's underneath Creative Commons or underneath fair use. She still uses. She still, I'm going to copyright strike that, which is why a lot of her old live streams are missing. That Real Stream News, that the blog and several others had up because she got them struck off. But yet she was calling Monday Matt out for doing the same thing. It's like, again, hypocrisy, which is one of the biggest things that she does. This is one that sort of puzzles me, and I'll explain what I mean. She says that she's too ill to work, but yet she can create over more than 4 hours, like 2+ hours of content in a day. Actual fact, I'm going to go on my tablet, and I'm going to go onto YouTube. Joy Sparkle, yes. So let's have a look. Videos. No, that's not the one. Oh, it is. Right. It is a bit weird because up until 2 weeks ago, a lot of her videos have been deleted, which I'm guessing are relating to her Peter Mon videos, because I can't see any of them. Oh no, there's a few there. So, let's just have a look. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I can't give an accurate look because I think there have been quite a few videos deleted because she's been caught out again. Now, there was the incident last year where in the day she was doing a debate with Onision, she had something like 17 videos within 24 hours, and some of these videos are 43 minutes long. 43 minutes long. That's the 11th of November. Then we have the debate. 9th of November. Again, I think a lot of videos have been deleted, which really won't surprise me. In actual fact, I'll just double check, because I will go on to Social Blade. Social Blade. Joy Sparkle. Yes. Oh yeah. There's videos that have been deleted. 11th of November, there was at least one video deleted. 17th, 20th of November, there was one video deleted. 17th of November, there was one video deleted. And a potential of multiple videos being deleted on the 15th, because there's a minus video view of just over 19,000. So yeah, she's definitely deleting videos because she's been caught out. Because she's done a lot of videos about Peter saying, oh, he needs to do this and he needs to do that and he needs to apologise to me and he needs to do this, he needs to do that, and then it's like, so she says that she's physically disabled, but she pulls out at least, probably say, 2 hours of content per day. Now, I have a chronic condition, and it's one that's recognised. I have diagnosis and everything, and I can at most do maybe an hour, and that's with moving around a lot, and in between recording videos I will lie down, give my back a break, and then sit back up and carry on recording. And then I will literally spend the rest of the night just lying down to get to my back to behave. But that's my normal. I can't do more than 2 hours of content every single day. I was uploading daily at one point, but it got too much. It just got too much, because I'd have to have like 2 days out of the week where I record, and it wasn't just like 5-minute videos, they were like 10-15 minutes long. So it was like, it was a lot of recording, then a lot of editing, just to do daily videos. So she's having multiple videos each day. One thing I didn't agree with Rep on, and I didn't agree with the way he framed it, was he sort of hinted that she was doing illness hoaxing. Now, he did say that her medical records that she says are proof that she has these conditions are essentially just item codes for symptoms and tests, which is, from what I can understand, I don't understand the way the American health system works, but we'll say that's true because it works different in this country. The way the American healthcare system works is a bit different, and those codes may relate to diarrhea, may relate to blah blah blah, and Rep says that he has that on good authority because of his mum, because she used to be a nurse. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't agree with him saying she's faking this or this, that and the other, because we just don't know. We don't know her medical history. We don't have access to her full medical records, and I wouldn't want that access, because the plain simple fact is, it's not my place. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm nothing in that instance. I have nothing to do with her. I don't want access to those records because they're private. At the end of the day, she's the one that brought her condition onto her channel, and she's the one that used that condition to then get sympathy. Now, I've always said for the entire of my channel history, I have a condition. And you guys know, if I don't upload it for a few days, it's because I'm not so good. And it's just someone, she's just having a bad week. Fine. Now, like I said, there are some things that make me think that she does have a condition, we just don't know what. And I'm not sure even if she knows what it is. She's thinking that it's this, she's thinking that it's that, she's thinking that it's this, she's thinking that it's that, when it might not be those things. So, then you also have the fact that him saying that she's illness hoaxing is another bit of a stretch to me, but he didn't say, he insinuated. He insinuated that that's what was going on, because he actually played a clip of discussion of illness hoaxing. So I don't know whether that was bad editing choice on his point or whether it was done on purpose. I just know it didn't make me feel very nice. It just made me feel a bit weird. Because I do think she has a condition, but I just don't know what it is. And I really don't want to know. I really couldn't care less. Because at the end of the day, she has her medical issues, I have mine. I'm concentrated on my medical issues and my husband's medical issues, and that's that. I don't give a shit about anything else. Unless you're within my close family network or my close friend network, you can be on. I've always said I didn't fully believe Joy, which I don't. I don't think that she even knows what's wrong with her. I'm just at the point now with that where I'm like, whatever, just let her have it. Just people stop playing her game by giving her that sympathy. And that will soon stop. He still questions her illness, which pisses me off. He doubts they are as severe as they are. I actually do agree with him on that one. Because if her illnesses were as severe as she says they are, she would not be able to do multiple videos a day. And videos, not like 10, 15 minute videos, we're talking about 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 minute videos. Multiple of those a day. I struggle doing one of them for a day. So like this one will probably sit by the time I finish in about 40 minutes. I'm not going to insert anything because I know she likes to copyright strike. So, now, this is one that pisses me off, and for those that know me will know why. The guy who defended her with the IUD causing copper toxicity and being prescribed Lyrica if you have copper toxicity. By the way, for that, there's some reports that say it's safe, and then there's some reports that say that it isn't. He said that you can be prescribed Lyrica if you've got copper toxicity, but there are reports saying you can't because there's an interaction. But that's the thing with medicine. In some instances there's an interaction, in some instances there isn't. It depends on whatever. So, this particular person who defended her on both of those points has been revealed by Rep. Now, I didn't research this guy because of the plain simple fact I didn't like him. He creeped me out and he made me feel icky. And I have good reason, and I now know why he made me feel icky. The guy who protected her in the Worski live stream where they were discussing this, he has been called out, and I'm not sure if he's been charged or not. I think he has. I think it has gone to court, whether it was small claims or whatever, that he lured a young woman to him with promise of a relationship. Now, this young girl is 19. Don't know how old he is, but he's about my age, if not older. And this girl, she was 19 years old physically. Mentally, she was 13. He's also said on record, and Rep has clips of this, saying that in some circumstances paedophilia is okay. For those that know who I am, will know that when I say this, I don't say this lightly. In no circumstance ever is paedophilia okay. Ever. Whether you're on a desert island or whether it's the end of the fucking world, I don't give a shit. If they're under the age of consent, you shouldn't touch them. That's my opinion. For those that know me, know that one thing that I will always fight for is the protection of children. You never insinuate that paedophilia is okay in certain circumstances. It just pisses me the fuck off. And those of you that know me know why. She also filed a false police report, or if it was a joke, it was a bad joke, of a, she was on a live stream with a guy and they were discussing something. I didn't really pay much attention, but he was, I think it was called Jared, and she was basically acting like she was the whole Onision thing, where she was laughing at him, she was belittling him and all sorts, and she wasn't being coherent, and she was being nasty. So he just turned around and said, "I hope somebody fucking kills you." And she says, "Is that a threat?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, "You can count that as a threat." And then there is a video of her, whether it's faked or not, I don't know, actually filing a police report. There is a video, a very similar video, of her filing a police report on Shane Dawson. But that's just my opinion. Now, the thing is, I found this weird, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one. Now, Shane apparently loves Joy. Apparently. However, this is something that really puzzles me. He also loves Peter, but she's gone after Peter. And he spent time with Peter. But I don't think Shane Dawson will ever know why I exist, because, well, I don't like Joy. So. But yeah, that's pretty much the general gist in half an hour less or thereabouts of what Rep said. But obviously he provided proof, which I won't be putting in because I know Joy has habits, especially with smaller channels, of copyright striking people. Now, like I say, when it comes to illness, I generally sort of have, because of my own, I sort of have sympathy for her on that front. And with her putting weight on, I have sympathy on that front as well, because I am a bigger girl. I didn't used to be quite this big. I have been bigger than I am now, but that was like 15 years ago. So, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to the illness thing, I do think she's exaggerating it, but I'm not sure what it is. And I don't really care to know anymore. I've got to the point where I'm done. She can go on about it all she wants, because I don't give a flying hoo-ha about it. I understand she's doing this for money, but people have sent her resources for her to go to get help with her medical costs. But she refuses to do that. And it's like, you're refusing to do everything everybody's trying to help you to do, that you're saying you need help to do. And he's like, I swear this girl. So we'll just have to see what happens. She keeps saying she's leaving, then she doesn't, and it's like, if you're gonna leave, just leave. Just go. Because I'm at the point now where I've had enough. Anything that relates to Joy, I'm like, I'm done. Unless something major happens, I'm done. Because the plain simple fact is, her willingness to say that people are attacking her when they just simply disagree with her is absolutely asinine. The fact that she makes mountains out of molehills, that she's one of the internet's biggest hypocrites, and that's the same internet where Greg lives. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to bugger off, because I've still got another 2 videos to record, get them done and sorted, and then I can chill for the rest of the night and maybe work a bit on this. So stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you very soon.